The last time we were out in this field, Mike, you explained what was happening and what your next steps were. Could you give us a little more detailed explanation of what you plan to do in this field?
Okay, Kathy. Now, when we earlier was out here in the field, you see it's very short. Now, my plan is now, of course, I still have beef cattle, and this field cannot be grazed because of the location near the road. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in and mechanically mow this down today. And what we're going to be mowing is what's the species. There's sun hemp, we got sunflower, we've got millet, we've got forage soybeans down in here. And once we mow this, I'm going to immediately come back in and plant some more species that'll winter kill. They'll get some height to it, and that'll be left. Now, some of this stuff will come back that I'm standing in, especially your millet and your forage soybean. Your buckwheat, however, it will not, this planting will not come back, but there is some hard seed in here that will germinate once, you know, the hay vine will knock some of that seed off. But I'll also come back in and I'll be planting buckwheat in on the second round as well. Now, the buckwheat, the reason I always specify the buckwheat, this is some of the teachings from George Washington. Back in the 1700s, he was recognizing weed suppressant characteristics of buckwheat. So therefore, if they were noticing it then, that is some of the studies we need to start looking at or keep looking at ourselves. Yes, there was a lot of good practices back years ago. Some of them kind of forgotten, and we need to reintroduce that. Yes, there were other practices that weren't so good. So we got to keep in mind, in the past, there were good and there's some bad things. We got to keep focusing on the good things that were taking place back in them days. Now, once I come in and replant, this here forage was planted going east to west. I'll come in with my second planting and go north to south. Again, what we're seeing is this here plant will regrow, and what comes back the next time will be left for the whole winter. I will not remove any of that crop whatsoever. It'll go back to feed the soil, and it'll feed the next crop, which will be corn come next spring. Now, even though I'm planning to mow the section of the field right to my right, there's going to be a section where I'm standing right now will not be mowed whatsoever this fall. This plant here, which is sunflower, this is sun hemp, and our buckwheat. What my plan here is, I've always talked about balance, and balance is part of this system that I am very interested in maintaining. And what I'm looking at doing here is this is going to be my pollinator plants, this is going to be my feedstock for the wild birds and so forth. So to me, leaving this here is very important to maintain that balance for our critters above ground, and of course it's still feeding the critters below the ground. So that we want to maintain. See, even on this side, look at all the insects.
There's so much life in these strips. I just can't believe how many butterflies,
yep.
insects, bees.